Let's get into some AI stuff. So, what appears to be the sleeper, and back in my generation, the sleeper was, of course, the one that nobody expected to come forward. You have so much talk, so much argument, so much, sorry for the shake, so much information that's being gleaned out there by these massive AI companies. You have OpenAI, you have Grok, and they're going at it like a whole bunch of school kids, just punching each other, beating each other up over their social media platforms, talking about who's who, show me yours, I'll show you mine, all that nonsense. And it's amazing to me, these billion-dollar people, I mean, $1 trillion in some respects, with all of the things that they're doing, they still resort to high school games. Pretty cool. But anyway, at that level, you also see that play out in the different political realms. People play these little games with each other, and I'm not sure where the maturity is. Well, I think I do know where the maturity is. If you look at the sleeper, if you look at the company out there, and then amongst AI people, it might not be the sleeper, but you look at Elon Musk, he's very much in the middle of an angry argument. Sam Altman, again, maybe responding, maybe generating, maybe the catalyst, maybe not. Doesn't really matter, but responding instead of in real estate, for example, if somebody responds negatively to something I put out there, typically I'm very thankful for their response. I might not agree, but I don't need to, wallow with them in the mud. Both of us get muddy, and I know a long time ago I figured this out being a cop that nobody really wins a fight. You might be victorious, but God, your uniform gets torn, you get bloodied, you get stuff broken. You get boots that you can't really get a spit shine on anymore because they were dragged all over the asphalt as you were rolling around. And in some cases, there's a loser. Hopefully the world rolls in before you tap out to this prick that's trying to hurt you. But in some cases, no, it doesn't end well. There's really no ultimate winner unscathed to any fight besides what you might see online. Usually people are pretty resilient and they might get a couple licks in, but they're going to have an opportunity to make a follow-up with that individual, whether today or sometime in the future, but it could end very badly and on both accounts. But the sleeper's Google. If you haven't explored Gemini, and if you haven't looked at the different things that they offer, and just one perfect example of this would be Notebook LM. It's a free system where you can upload and learn by YouTube videos and any other text you happen to have. If you find any of these white papers like I do about AI or self-generating AI, self-improving AI, and these sorts of things, and I want it broken down to me so I get it and understand it, I use Notebook LM. I'll plug in the file, I'll plug in a YouTube video, and it does not only the podcast, which is fine, it's also interactive, so you can ask it questions. I believe that's still beta, but it's on there. But in addition to that, you get fact sheets, you can text yourself. There are other things you can do, plus interact with it and ask it direct questions. I do this with things I don't understand. So at 56, I'm still constantly learning about these different AI elements, the different AI systems out there, how LLMs actually work, what they're based on, where they came from, where they potentially are going. But then I'm watching other things like Google's quiet development of in the quantum realm, the quantum computer, and watching how in some cases, because it looks like they're really starting to gather a lot more functionality of the quantum computer, it gives an appearance to me that this machine, from what I've read and from what I've seen, it might be able to start to manipulate mass. I guess that's the most natural progression of the machine. And if you look at space, if you look at the Webb's telescope or any of these that capture that massive photo of all the galaxies, have you seen this? I mean, it's incredibly remarkable. I It's really beyond comprehension. So many galaxies. And I guess the James Webb Space Telescope, I guess somewhere around 877 have been identified in this photograph. They stitched it all together and they came up with this. That's a lot. And a lot of these, the way that they're spinning, apparently that the center of them is a black hole. And they're so far away from us, there's really no hope of getting there in anybody's lifetime to even the closest one as fast as we can go now. So that's present. But they give this quantum computer, Google does, some information, and of course it already has everything, but kind of they prompt it into an area to explore weight and mass. And the system itself is able to potentially grasp on reprogramming mass and creating mass. So then I'm starting to think in my little brain, mass, that has to do with gravity, some of the largest structures in the cosmos, some of the most dense particles and these sorts of things, they can actually bend the fabric of space itself. That's a mass thing. So where my brain leads me to believe is if this is able to be manipulated, the mass of things, then we could have all sorts of very positive, very massive helps out there that would help us do our traveling, protect ourselves on so many different levels. Not going more into that because frankly, don't get it. But to say this, people aren't talking about Google. Google isn't out there on the front. Google isn't out there screaming. Google's being nice and quiet. Google is doing what Google's doing. Google is apparently going to sell Chrome or have to get rid of Chrome to avoid some kind of an issue, some kind of a political thing. And again, I don't know anything about that more than what I've heard and probably what you've heard. But the fact that they're just willing to kind of settle just to keep themselves out of having to explain a lot of things, that's I think not betting on them as being the ultimate winner of this, and I know it's early, but it looks pretty incredible the way that they've positioned themselves to, well, as I opened with, be the sleeper. So I guess we should continue to watch them, and I'm sure that it's not going to get any more exciting. But when they do release stuff, there isn't all the pizzazz of the Steve Jobs of the world or all the excitement, and it's all going to be okay of the what's that other cat from Meta. But the way that these people present what they're dropping, it sounds like they've solved all the equations in the world. Then they kind of pull back from it. But with Google, you're really not hearing much. But the systems that they have, their Gemini, their Notebook LM, and everything else, because there is a lot there. There's other systems that they have in place that do some remarkable things. Just look, just figure out what they have. You'd be shocked where they have gone. And there is no party, there is no massive celebration. They're moving silently, they're moving deep, and I believe they could be the one that we all need to be watching. Anyway, I'm Connor with Honor, AI with Honor, and this is just a quick AI update. Saw a video about the quantum world and about manipulation of mass. And oh, it's exciting. I hope we get some kind of alignment in the realm of having these alien beings, these man-made intelligences. Hopefully they'll be put together in such a way, as Hinton likes to say, with the care of a mother. So none of us will be destroyed in the long run. I'm Connor with Honor, AI with Honor. We will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Be well.